Hello, and welcome to another edition of Music and Mixing. I am DJ Michael Joseph, and you are here with me online, wherever you are at around the world. Each and every single week here on a Wednesday, we do music and mixing, and we answer questions, and sometimes there's topics about music, sometimes about mixing, sometimes about hardware, sometimes about software, different things like that. But tonight, usually about once a month, I do an open question night, and that leaves everything. I got to turn this off over here because I'm like seeing like myself do things 2 or 3 times. We do one night a month where we do open question kind of stuff like that. So way that goes is basically, if you've never watched the show before, you know, because I'm getting a lot of new people from all around the world. I'm going to switch this light from red to that. Basically, we take first couple of minutes to do shout outs in the chat, see who's there. If you are from somewhere, it doesn't matter where you're from, shout out where you're from. I'll do you a shout out because I like to see where everybody's watching from. JC, thank you. First off, JC is from Mexico City, and he just caught my live mix that was on before this on Twitch. Thank you so much for hanging out with me over there. I try to do at least a mix a week. Things get busy. I have a lot going on right now. For an unemployed DJ, I have a lot going on because I'm always trying to work angles and different things. So we have Mexico City. Trevor's in there. DJ Scrappa. I only know people by DJ names, so thank you for doing that. Scrappa is from Australia. Who we have here? Montreal. So we have Canada, Mexico, Australia, United States. So what's going on? Sylvia's in there. What's going on? How are you? Hope everybody's doing good. Scott, Carol, thank you again for hanging out with me, supporting all the stuff you and Howie and John and all the other Johns do. Appreciate that. Like I said, we do the shout-outs first off, and then it's open question night, and we can take any kind of question. I do have the deck set up here, so we can do some mixing and trying some stuff out. I can share the software. So we can talk about stuff over there. We can talk about music. We can talk about anything. So tonight is wide open questions. There's a lot going on in the DJ world. There was a show Disc Jockey News did a couple nights ago. Oh, before I get into that, remind me, the show that was on a couple nights ago. Coming up next Monday and Tuesday, right here on Disc Jockey News is holding their own virtual expo, their own virtual DJ expo. And what it is over the 2 nights. I think it starts at 6 or 8 o'clock. You'll have to look. But you can go to discjockeynews.com and get all the info there. It'll say Virtual Expo, and you can find out the info on there. And basically what it is there are different presenters. So it's like the seminar side of the DJ Expo, if you ever went to the DJ Expo, which was just canceled for those of you who don't know. They did send out a thing today stating that 2021, it will be held at the Hard Rock Hotel. So we're moving to the Hard Rock Hotel in 2021. But this year it was canceled. But if you ever went to that, then you know that there is a lot of seminars that go on. And that's basically what this is we're going to do half-hour seminars all night long, all different presenters on all different things. So if you go over to discjockeynews.com or djntv.com, and you can see the list of presenters. I'm not sure if they're up yet or not, but they'll be up soon. But that's Monday night and Tuesday night. And then Wednesday is when I would be back, but I'm taking next Wednesday off because I'm going to be in the chat rooms afterwards to answer questions and talk about stuff. And then in 2 Wednesdays from now, on the 21st, Jay Brennan from Pioneer is coming on here to answer questions about why different pieces of hardware get certain functions and other ones don't get certain functions. He's going to talk about the kind of behind the scenes, what goes into the planning of the equipment that we use and what they, when they ask certain DJs, what do you like, what don't you like, he's going to talk about that whole process because one of the things I've learned is that there are so many different types of DJs in the world. It is crazy, and everybody thinks people do things just like them. So when there becomes a piece of hardware out that somebody's like, oh man, I like this, and other people are like, I don't understand why you like that. Or like when the 1000 came out and so many people went crazy over the 1000, but other people like, I don't get the 1000. I know people that won't go near it. They prefer turntables or the Rain or phase system or something. So we're going to talk about in 2 weeks on the 21st on this show with Jay from Pioneer, and we're going to talk about all the different things that go into the process, what they have to do to make a piece of equipment work for who they're making it for. So join me that on 2 weeks. But Monday night, like I said, we'll be back here Monday and Tuesday for the virtual DJN TV's Virtual DJ Expo. So make sure you tune in for that. So we're getting back to the chat room. I think he might go to Wednesday. I'm not sure what that means, Scott. In Serato 2.4, the laptop speaker as a main out. Do you know where you attach your headphones, maybe to the controller? What that works like as basically, for those of you who follow me on like I said, because I post a lot of stuff on the story mode, the stuff that's only up for 24 hours on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. So I put stuff up there, pictures and stuff that are only there for 24 hours. I do a lot of stuff over there. And one of them I did is when Serato put that thing out and showed all the different things it could do, I put the dates on when Virtual had that stuff, and some of it was 3 or 4 years ago, or actually there was 2 of them, including the speaker, being able to play through the speaker, has been more than a decade. I think it's probably been part of Virtual since like 2005 or 6, something like that. So they've had that in there for a long time. But Serato guys, if those of you don't know, did not have the ability to just play music out of their speakers when it's hooked up to a controller in practice. They would have to hook up a speaker to their controller, and now they've made it so you don't have to. You can just, if you want to practice hooked up to a controller, you can make the sound come out of your speakers. Now you can do the headphones from your regular headphones on your controller, which is kind of what you're supposed to do there. But they do also make splitters, in which I don't think I have I might have a splitter in that bag, but I'm not going to drag it out. But a splitter will take it out of there, and if it splits it out into 2 sides, you can have a main out and a headphone out coming out of your audio out jack if you have that ability. But you're probably just, like I said, the way they have it set up, the way it works with everything else, the sound that you're doing on the controller comes out of the speakers on the laptop, but you're listening plugged into the headphones on the controller just like you would monitor normally. It just gives you the ability now to play out of the laptop as opposed to before, where you couldn't do that. You had to have a speaker hooked up to your controller to make anything work. Scott said about Wednesday night. I guess we've had a lot of good response on the Virtual DJ Expo, so we might go to Wednesday night also. So I'm giving up my Wednesday next week, whether they are or not. I'm giving it up, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm just going to hang out in the chats those night and answer questions and different things like that. I do have a very unique seminar that I'm putting on. I think it's very, very unique. It's about one of the most unique, I'm guessing it's probably one of the most unique seminars, a DJ seminar you've ever heard, is all I want to say. This topic is very unique. I kind of ad-libbed it from an article that I wrote more than 10 years ago and kind of adapted it into this thing, and you'll have to check it out. I don't know which night I'm on, so check which night I'm on. But all the seminars are 30 minutes, and it's trust me, it's extremely unique. And if you are a mixed DJ or let's just say a popular DJ of any sort, wedding or anything like that, this might interest you. It's about dealing, not even popular, because there's certain things I do in there for people that, even if you aren't famous, I'm covering stuff in there that's going to affect you and stuff, how to deal with it. So you definitely have to check that out. Yeah, Serato's doing it with the 2 sound cards now. They just started the 2.4 point whatever it is. I just downloaded it. They added a lot of different things that they couldn't do before, and that was one I'm being able to play out of the speakers on the laptop. I don't even know where that's at. If I have that, if I still have that on my phone, I'll read to you all the things that were added on the new Serato. I think I still saved that photo. Should be here. Maybe not. Where did I do that at? To remember what folder I had it on, because I've been working. Oh, there it is. Okay, so they added BeatSource Link streaming, which Virtual's had that since May. Beatport Link streaming. So there's BeatSource and Beatport. BeatSource is like the top 40 stuff. Beatport Link, we've had that since 2019, 9/22/19. Live streaming ability they've added, and that's a big step for them. We've had that since 2018. Using a laptop speaker as master out, we've always had that, Virtual. Advanced MIDI mapping, Virtual's always had that. And then they go down through 3 more units that are now compatible, and it's funny because it's the Rane 72, we've had that since June. No, last month. We got it last month. The Rane 12, we had it for last month. And then finally on there is the Pioneer DJM V10 mixer. We don't have that yet, so you can't have everything. So we don't have everything. But those are all the things they added. And I know for a fact that Serato's coming with some more really cool stuff like that coming up. Your mind is, if you're a Serato fan, your mind is going to be blown by what you're going to get in the next 12 months from Serato. You really are. They've got some great things in the works, so pay attention to them. Let's check in the chat here. If I think you can download Serato and give it a try. I don't know how their trial thing is on there. I purchased it because of Disc Jockey News. I have to test all the stuff, so I have all the software. And like I said, I got it the other day and was playing around a little bit with it. I don't use it out. But like I said, a lot of people do. And like I said, some of the changes they got coming, not changes, additions, are great, are phenomenal. Scott Carroll said he's not a popular DJ, just a fun DJ. No, like I said, in this topic that I'm talking about, the more I thought about it, the different things that I cover, it doesn't even matter because it's going to cover anybody who does any sort of in front of anything, anytime. So it doesn't matter if you do weddings and you only do 1 or 2 weddings a year. This could affect you. You could be a club guy or a festival person touring the world. There's stuff in this topic that'll affect you. So it's a really good topic. You have to check it out. I'm excited about it. I dove into the topic when I did the video, decided to do the video. I was kind of, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? Because it is such a unique and off-the-wall topic that, like I said, it was so different that I'm hoping that people don't look at the title of it and pass by and go, nope, we're not going to pay attention to that. So I hope you do. Like I said, it's only 30 minutes. And you know me, I ramble a lot. So I talk fast. I'll keep you entertained. So it is open question night. When is the seminar? It is Monday night and Tuesday night, the 12th and the 13th, which is also the same nights as, what else? There's something else going on those nights. Oh, that is Amazon Prime days too. So we're competing with Amazon Prime days, but it's October 12th and October 13th. While we're talking here, I'll actually grab a link, and if I can, or someone can put it in the chat. Hold on here. I'm going to see if I can find the link for that, the seminar. If you can, put it in there. So it's not on Disc Jockey. Oh, wait, is it up there? I'm looking at the page now. I'm trying to find it. So is it on DJNTV.com? So if anybody knows where that's at, let me know. Don't make me stand here and do this for the people. Where's the link for that at? It's not the convention series. Oh, there it is, Virtual Expo. Yeah, it's on DJNTV.com. I'm going to share the link right now. For those of you watching somewhere other than YouTube, you won't be able to see this. I'm popping it on YouTube. But this is where you go to check out the stuff on the Virtual Expo. Like I said, they may take it into a Wednesday night also. So like I said, I'm stepping away next Wednesday. I'll be back in 2 weeks, like I said, with Jay, and we'll be talking about what goes into equipment. So any questions? Like I said, it's been a strange week. I want to get back to the video that was on a couple nights ago, and the question, I think, who was it that did it in there? I want to say was it Brian? Give me a second here. Bringing up videos while we're doing it. Ain't that great, the technology, all the stuff we could do. Who put the video out? Oh, it was Brian and Jay. It was a video, where have all the DJs gone? And it is a weird thing because the more and more I talk to DJs, there are DJs that are walking away right now, which is fine. I mean, because you have to make a living, you have to do what you want, but it's going to be different. I actually went to a couple places I used to DJ at, or got to talk to the owners and stuff and talking to them. For those of you, the Disc Jockey News that it's in there, I'm typing both for Michael Joseph and Disc Jockey News tonight. So I'm one of those. So I'm both in both chats. So if you are watching this on Facebook, I'm I can't put it over there right now, so I apologize. But check on YouTube or just go to djntv.com, and there's a link in there for the DJNT Virtual Expo 2020. And you can see all the stuff that's going on there about that. But yeah, Brian and them, they did a video the other night about where's the DJ gone, and there is a lot. It's starting at 6 p.m. to midnight Eastern time. So that's the expo's going that much, and they're talking about taking it into another night. There are exhibitor live rooms that are going on, and I know if I'm correct, last time we did this, it was NLFX brought in stuff. I'm not sure. Yeah, NLFX is in there. Is probably going to have one of the rooms. I'm on Monday. Oh, so they do have the times here. He renamed my thing. That is not the name I want on that. So it's on that page. He named it "Dealing with These Stressors in Your Life." That is not the proper title. So I'm going to have him change that, and you'll have to come back and see what the proper title is. That's the wrong title. So if John's watching this, that's the wrong title. So yeah, there's a lot of DJs leaving the business, whether it be for short term or long term. I think it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of people, especially like the DJs that just did it for some extra money. They're going to see that they can't rely on it now. They're going to see that what they had before is not going to be there, so it's not going to be as reliable for them. So a lot of them are going to look for steady work, the word I always like to use is day job. So there's a lot of them going to be looking for a day job, and the whole thing when it comes around to just being a DJ for some extra money is probably going to be gone, because there's going to be a lot of places where you're at before that aren't there. So there's just going to be less DJ jobs out there for a while. I know, it all depends on what some of the states are doing to let the amount of groups, as we go into Christmas season, whether we're going to have the corporate holiday parties for those of you who do mobile gigs, stuff like that, Christmas school dances, all that kind of stuff. So it's an interesting topic to think about who's going to be here and who's not. Yeah, I want to get with John on it. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, because that's the wrong name for that. I'm going to have to make sure he has the right name for that. But I'm the second one up on Monday night. So, and I just did another one. For those of you who don't know, one of the ones we did a couple weeks ago where we did the DJ talks were like TED Talks, 10 minutes long. The one I did on that, it has just been put up on Disc Jockey News' YouTube page, so go check it out. It was another little off-topic, little 10 minutes about how to curate a better music library. But this one's off-topic even further with the wrong title. So I have to get with him on that. So it's open question night. So what do you guys want? What do you have to know? What do you want to ask me? What do you want to challenge me to? Scrappa says, with music going down the streaming service, do you think where possible still kept the hard versions like downloadable music files, CDs, vinyl? This is the interesting thing. I remember when CDs came out and every DJ in the world said nobody in their right mind will ever DJ with CDs. And then everybody DJ'd with CDs. And then when they started doing MP3s and laptops, people were like, no one in their right mind will ever put a laptop in front of them when they're DJing. People DJing with a laptop. Then when controllers came about, people are like, nobody's going to DJ on a stupid controller. That just looks stupid. No one will DJ on a controller. Everybody's DJing on a controller now. So to say that people won't be using streaming in the future, it will. It will happen, and this is why I think it will happen, because they can make more money off of us by making us pay every month for a streaming service as opposed to downloading songs. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to make it more accessible for us to offline them so we can play when we're not hooked up to the internet, and they're going to charge us extra for that. So we're going to be paying for a streaming service, and then we're going to be paying for an offline streaming service, and they're going to get us monthly on both of those. And I still think there are going to be MP3, MP4 digital files around for a long, long time. I really do believe that. There's so few DJs that I've seen use CDs anymore, but people still do. There are very few pure vinyl DJers, like ones that literally just DJ vinyl, like mix, not just play vinyl, but mix vinyl. but it's still out there. It's always going to be out there. I think there's going to be CDs around because I know some people that have recently sold their entire promo-only CD collection to people. Stuff like that is still going to be there because people want like a back catalog, and you can get a back catalog by buying someone's entire CD library as opposed to going somewhere and paying for something and downloading bunches of stuff. But the streaming stuff, I think, is going to seriously be a part of our lives more than you can imagine because I use it. I use the two different services in virtual. I use the iDJ Pool and I use the Deezer. And every once in a while, like I said, I'll be just DJing and going, I have this song, but I wish I had a short version. Or I wish I might have a remix of it, and I go, I want the regular version. Or if I have the regular version, I want a remix version. And I can just jump into those iDJ Pool, and mainly iDJ Pool has the remixes, or Deezer, and in seconds be playing another version of a song that I don't have just because I'm looking at the versions that I have and go, that is not going to fit where I'm DJing tonight. I need a different version. I can just go grab it like that. And it leaves me unlimited to play songs, even if they are last-minute requests. I'm able to literally, as fast as if it was in my computer, drag and drop and play it. So that's a big advantage, that if you're doing a party and somebody asks for something, you don't have to go out of that program to go download it, to then put it in there, to then play it. Or you don't have to, like a lot of you do, go to a YouTube page and play it. You can just search and drag and play as if you had it. And that is such a powerful, powerful tool that's why I think it's going to be there, because those of us who have embraced it already see when we jumped in with like I said, I jumped in with both feet and tried all the different services, and there's some of them are still developing. Like the Beat Source one is still developing, getting in clean, versions marked clean, marked dirty, marked short, marked extended, marked intro, all that kind of stuff. Once they get more like that for the DJ, that's when we're just going to be like, why do I bother? I can just go from here. I don't have to, do all these songs. I can pay this much a month and have them all. Like I said, a lot of people say, I'm not a place where Wi-Fi is. Let me paint a picture for you. 80% of all America lives east of the Mississippi River. All right? And 50% of all Americans live within 1 hour of a major metropolitan city. So Wi-Fi is pretty much available all the time. And if not Wi-Fi, your phone. And you can hotspot them. And I don't know a place that I've ever DJ'd that I wasn't either able to get Wi-Fi, because I do the Xfinity Comcast Wi-Fi because I pay for it for the house, and then that gives me access to it out in public. And if you go and look at the Xfinity Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, it's literally everywhere. Like literally, you'll see red everywhere. I can go anywhere in the city, and it immediately jumps into my Comcast Xfinity account, and I have instant internet. Like every club I go to, I already have it set up to where it automatically links to the Xfinity Wi-Fi, and right then I have it. So if I don't have that, I have the ability to tie into my phone. So not having the ability to grab stuff when you need it is virtually gone already, and it's even going to get better as 5G comes. So, and more Wi-Fi. So there's going to be a lot more free Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So I think it's here to stay, and I think it's just going to grow, and especially with this next generation that don't own songs. They just rent them. That's normal to them. It's not even a question. It's like, why would I bother downloading if I can just have it right there anytime I want it? And not only the streaming services, but there's also going to be a lot of offline services so that you might put stuff in your own cloud and be able to access it anytime you want from your own cloud, which I do also. I have a lot of stuff that I can just grab that's on the cloud, my cloud. I have multiple terabytes online that I can just grab from that's mine too. So, all right, looking at the chat. Alan from the UK. So we now have the UK, Mexico City, Australia. Did someone say Ontario? We have Canada, United States. This is what I love about this show. Touching base with people all over the world. And I think that's so awesome. I appreciate you guys so much. Reading on down here. In Virtual DJ, why do songs get removed sometimes? I think it's a Mac thing. It is not a Mac thing. It is a database thing, because you might have something plugged in there, or you might not scan it. There's a lot of different things to make that permanently part of your XML database. And the XML database is nothing but an XML file. It's a text file with all your songs on it, and they only disappear when you take them out of there, or if you don't scan them. So I'm not sure why your stuff's disappearing. I've never seen a problem with songs disappearing, but hit me offline and we can talk about it if you want. Yeah, if you rename a song and stuff like that, you're going to have to use the recurse to find stuff. And what the recurse does is looks at all your data, all your files, and creates the database. So if you've changed a name, and here's the thing with Virtual, you can do everything inside Virtual. Move files from place to place. But if you go outside of Virtual and move it, Virtual's not going to know you did it. If you change the name outside of Virtual, Virtual's not going to know you did it, and it's going to say that file's gone. So change the name or move the files inside Virtual, and it will always know where stuff's at. So that's what I'm guessing that's going on with you. I'm guessing. See any other questions here? Yeah, renaming a song, anything like that. Like I said, you do everything from within. I'll share here. I still have Virtual up, I'm pretty sure. And we need to go to Zoom. Where's my left Zoom? Hold on here. I have shortcuts here, but I have so many things on there. I don't know where the left screen capture Zoom. No, that's not it. Oh, there it is. Boop. All right, so let's say we're looking at one of my files, and these songs here, okay? If you want to move something, you right-click. Oh, it's not showing the menus. This stupid thing doesn't show the menus. But for some reason, this doesn't grab the sub-menu. So I did a right-click, and there should be a sub-menu there. And you can move stuff. You can rename stuff. You can do everything from there, and it will find it. And that's the whole purpose on that. So dang it, I keep forgetting that this stupid thing, when I'm over on this setup as opposed to the studio setup, it doesn't grab the sub-menus. So anyways, any more questions? So in the chat, this is open question. It can be about anything except for sub-menus and Virtual, because I can't show you those. How do you relocate MIDI files in Virtual DJ? It's still the same thing. If they're in a spot, I'm going to try to do this the best I can and explain this. Nope, wrong one again. Is that the right one? Nope. I have not disappeared. I'm just trying to find the right left deck, because it's not that one. Nope. I can't find what I just had. But if you want to move all of them, all you're going to do is highlight them like you normally would. And you're going to right-click, and on here is a sub-menu that says File Options. But you can't see that. It would say File Options right here. And File Options is Delete, Move To, or Copy To. And all you do is Move To, and it not only moves the physical file to the place where you want to move it to, but it actually physically changes it in the database at that time. So if you move anything, rename anything, change anything, do it within Virtual, and it will always know where everything's at. That's probably the reason why. Virtual DJ cannot be renaming the song. You must have renamed it, and what it's doing is it's looking at the tag, and you could have a setting in there to where it looks at the tag every time. So if you change the name and you have a setting to read the tag every time, it could be reading the tag and changing it because you have it set to read the tag every single time. Relocate lost files the exact same way. You have a lost file, right-click on it, and it says relocate. It's the same. Everything is done from that right-click. So you go to that file that is missing, the one that sometimes they're marked yellow or whatever. Right-click on it, relocate, and it will take you to the place where it should have been, and you can search there, or you can just do a search of everything, find the song, double-click on it, and then it adds it as that song. So basically what it's doing, it's refinding it through the thing. Scott, I'm going to try to see if I can find on the menu here for There's one in there for reading the tags. Set tags auto. And that might be one you might need to switch. There's so many little settings in virtual. Like I said, hit me afterwards, Scott. I'll check that out. But that's all there is. I guarantee that's what it is that you've renamed something but not renamed it in virtual, and it's constantly grabbing the tag, whatever the tag is set, and the tag is named different than the file. That's why I say to do it through virtual. And in the tag editor, which I can't show you because of the pop-up screen, the tag editor has a point down at the bottom that you can, like, let's say you change the name of the song in the tag. You go down to the bottom, and there's a little white dot there, and it will say rename, and it'll give you the option to rename the actual file the exact same as the tag, or vice versa. If you want the tag to be what the file is, you can do it from there. But everything can be done in that way on virtual. All right, any other questions? This is good. You guys get some good stuff here. I always like hanging out with you guys. We can talk about anything. Like I said, once you tag it once and scan it, it should be done. So whatever it is, if you're scanning, if you have it tagged different than its file name, and you're looking for the file name, because in the search, you can set the search up to where in your submenus right here, I mean your headers, you can have it to be title, and the title is looking at the tag title, or you can have it in there to look at file name. So I'm not sure which one you have there, whether you have title set up, and title is going to look at the tag title, or you might have file there, and it's looking at the file name. So I hope that helps. I know it's, nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. I got way too many things going on there. I don't know where my zoom is for the left deck to do that, so I apologize. But yeah, hit me up offline, because like I said, a lot of people ask me questions about different things, and most of the time, it's a whole lot more complicated than one-line answer. There was a gentleman today that took my DJ class, and he wanted to learn about his controller and stuff. And everybody who sits down with me when it talks about what controllers can do and what software can do, it takes about 15, 20 minutes, and their mind is already like, my brain's hurting. And I'm like, you know, we have a 2-hour class, and you're 10 minutes into it, and there's a lot. So a lot of times answering questions is more than just do this. So Scott, I would have to look at what you have set up and why it's doing that, and it would help if I was able to look at the exact file. And if I can look at the exact file, I can read it and see what it is, and show you, oh, this is why this is. And you might have a whole folder full of them that are redoing that every time because you don't have it set right. But there's a lot there. So any other questions? Come on. Chat room, what's going on? Is anybody back to work at any level? I know some people are doing some weddings. Do I do edits on Ableton? Yes, I've been using Ableton for, oh gosh, a long time, probably 15 years now. Had used Cubase before that, and I don't remember what I used before Cubase. But I literally have videos on Disc Jockey News about Ableton, so you can go watch the videos there about Ableton. But I've made complete songs because I've always DJ'd, but for part of my time in the 90s, I was trying to be a vocal artist, and I wrote songs. I literally put out 12 albums in my lifetime. 6 of them were DJ albums, 6 of them were vocal albums, and they're all original songs that I wrote. So I did a lot of that in Ableton and a lot in Cubase before Ableton. And like I said, I went to Ableton probably about 2006, I think, somewhere around there. But yeah. When I play auto mix, I don't get the music video. Again, you're going to have to set that up to play the music video as opposed to audio only. I don't know much about auto mix because I don't know if I've ever used auto mix. I don't know why it wouldn't automatically play the video, because it when you're playing from the auto mix, it should be playing whatever file you have exactly the same, because you're literally playing it on the deck. So whatever normally goes on the deck should be happening in the auto mix, because there should be no difference whatsoever. So I'm not sure about that. Scott said he's back to work in Florida. But yet again, that's Florida. It's the place where people throw alligators in drive-through windows and crazy stuff like that. So, yeah, it's Florida. Some states are really limited. I was talking to Scrappa, who's in the chat tonight down in Australia, and he said where he's at, not all of Australia, but the city that he's at, they cannot go any further than, I think it was 5 miles away from their house, maximum, and they literally have checkpoints to where they will stop you, look at your driver's license, and if you've gone more than the allotted distance you're allowed to go away from your home, it's a $5,000 fine. And the head of that area said that they are absolutely requiring what they want to do, whether they end up doing it or not, is that they have to be 21 days with 0 cases before they're open everything back up again. So if your area is open, be happy you're not like that, because he was telling me he has family that lives just 45 minutes away from him, and he cannot go see them because it's further distance than he's allowed to drive. So it's crazy. Like I said, we're still here in Pennsylvania, very limited on places that are allowed to be out. The time that the alcohol is allowed to be sold can only be sold if you buy food. So each area is kind of messed up there. I don't know what Jimmy's talking about, the debate. Jimmy, don't start nothing, all right? It's like James Brown used to say, static, don't start none, won't be none. Static, jump back. Anyways, that was my James Brown. Any other questions? You guys had some great questions here. So Carlos saying he's still out of work. Again, it then a place, there are wedding venues and stuff that are opening up, but like I said, for me, the bars and the clubs aren't. So I know friends who are doing weddings and parties and different things. I'm not doing anything because I don't do a lot of those, very few of those. Yeah, that's what he was saying. Trevor's, that's DJ Scrap. It's in there. He was the one who's living that. And like I said, he told us that story the other night in the DJ Chill Room, which you are welcome to chill out there with us sometimes. It's open every night about 9 p.m., and it's where DJs hang out. Absolutely nothing, it's not like a place where you go and DJ and watch some DJ. It's just DJs sitting in one of the Zoom chat rooms and just talking about anything. And that is djntv.com/chill. If you want to go there, someone wants to throw that into the chat. I have an SX2. Can you change the filter on it in Virtual DJ? In Virtual DJ, that's the cool thing, that you literally can program anything to be what you want it to be. And here's an example. I want to share this. And I think I can do this with this song because I have a YouTube song up there, if I'm able to share. There. Okay. So here's the song. All right. So in Virtual, these three are effects buttons. And the idea is that you can change the effect in each one of these and either play it on the deck by pressing it or assign it to one of your decks. And there are other effects besides this, but this is the main thing for the effect. I don't like that. I want whatever button I'm hitting to be exactly what it is every single time. So I've reprogrammed, re-MIDI mapped these three to be just one thing. So no matter what's going on, each one of these is something. This one's not nothing right now, but this is an echo out and a phase, two effects at the same time, post fader. So if I want to echo something out, I can go. And no matter what's going on, that effect's there always. So if you have an effect, like some of the SXs have multiple buttons, and with Virtual, you can go in and attach any effect, video or audio, to those. You don't have to be, you're not constricted to what Pioneer says they are. You can make them anything, including on Virtual, I also have the second one here is audio effects. So I have audio effects, that's my cue points. And this is audio effects. That's a loop out. That's regular echo out. That's a break. That's a wah-wah, I think it's called. That's beat grid. And it comes out of it, and this is just a doubler. And that's the phase that's part of the echo, and then this one is an oscillator. But you can program anything to be what you want because underneath of that, I told you, the effects, If I hit that again, I double layered them. So you can set them up to be anything you want, as many as you want, however you want. Each one of those on mine is 2 layers of effects. The next one over is video effects. So if I'm doing video, I have video effects with a single press of a button. Underneath of that is a slicer. Next one over on top of that is the shortcuts for the stems, and underneath the stems, the second time on that button, is my sampler deck for throwing up the MJ samples and all that kind of stuff. So you can really set it to do absolutely anything you want whatsoever. So I hope that answered your question. Jimmy's chat, and I gotta go back to the chat here. I was in the radio there and started. Oh, that's Scott talking about. He used to be in the radio, the SX. Back to about 80%. Jimmy said. Scott says he has some weddings. Oh, they're just chatting in the chat amongst themselves. The neat thing with that Virtual DJ Beat Grid is that you can change it to be multiple things. Again, I have it programmed to what I want. So that Beat Grid doesn't have to be that Beat Grid. You can set it to be whatever you want. And I think there's 4 pre-programmed, and you can make other ones. This is the one that I choose just because I like it. But you can make it be whatever you want it to be in any order with a simple press of a button. Serato, like I said, keep an eye. If you're a Serato fan, you've got stuff coming. So just be prepared. That one of the things that they added, remember, it's talked about MIDI mapping. They're opening up their software to allow more customized MIDI mapping, and that's what you're going to see, the ability to do what Virtual's always done, just let you do what you want to do. Because my first controller, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if I mentioned it in last week's show or not. Somebody asked me what my first controller was, and my first controller wasn't a controller. Denon had these DNS 1200s, which were CD media players, and they had USB ports in the back to put thumb drives, so you could play off a thumb drive, looking at the screen, hook up a keyboard, and I could be DJing off thumb drives back in 2006, 2007. But they also had USB-B ports, which some people call those USB printer ports, the square ones. I could come out of each one of those into my laptop, and then I MIDI mapped each one of those with the buttons on it to be 6 cue points and 6 audio effects. So that programming through Virtual was my first controller back in like 2008, 2009. So, anybody else? Questions? Like I said, a while back, we tried to make the show go a half an hour, and it never went a half an hour, so we're just kind of leaving it as is. Whoops, wrong one. I'm pressing buttons. So, any other questions? Hope everybody's doing well. We got a few people watching tonight, not a lot. But like I said, we try to do this show so you're able to also watch it in demand, so there's a lot of great stuff you can go and watch in demand. The open question nights are never our biggest popular ones because they're not topic resident, but it's good to be able to come in and ask any question you want. That's why I do these, because you're able to ask just anything. You can just come in and ask questions about anything that you might go, hey, you know, and that's what this is. And also, it's going to be a lot like that with the chat rooms. So if you go into the DJ Chill chat, you can ask questions in there. Usually when I stop in, I'm usually there once a week max, maybe once every 2 weeks. I get bombarded with questions, which I'm fine. That's fine. That's why I go in there, you know, to be able to talk about stuff. So we're about a quarter till the hour. We've gone 45 minutes. Let me know any other questions you have. We'll try to get those in there. The DJ RMX Console 2. Let me go look that up because I am not familiar with that. By looking at it. That's one of the original ones, right? Or is that new? I've never used that. But I think someone in the chat, doesn't Scott own one of those? Scott or somebody owns one of those, if I'm pretty sure. So, I'm not sure. Did you have a question about that? Oh, you can't get it to work with Serato. Keep in mind that a lot of the controllers, again, it was Digital DJ Tips did a thing where they compared, and this was 4 years ago, so lots have changed in the past 4 years, but they compared Serato to Virtual and all the different things, and one of them they looked at how many different controllers it works with. And at that time, again, this was 4 years ago, so a lot has changed. Serato had about 150 different devices it worked with, and Virtual had almost 400 devices it worked with. So it's definitely that could be something to do with Serato, but like I said, as things change, I think things are going to open up, because I remember when they first opened it up to controllers, when they opened up Serato to controllers, and they opened up Serato to have a sync button and stuff. So things are changing. If you're a Serato fan and you want something it doesn't have, hang out. I'm telling you, it's coming. They're doing a lot of work, a lot of good work over there. But I don't have any experience with the RMX. Sorry, I apologize about that. Thank you, Max, about the set today. For those of you who don't know, I do a live mix online at least once a week. I try to stay practiced, so if I get a gig, I'm still up. And I just kind of just went wherever tonight, and it turned out good, I guess. So thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Carlos, like I said, unless I was there and kind of seeing what all that does, I don't know. Because like I said, Hercules is kind of, it's not one of the mainstream controllers. So sometimes stuff works with it, sometimes stuff doesn't. And again, I think, is that an older controller? Oh yeah, that's old, because like 2012. Let me paint a picture for you. The Denon, because I'm a Denon guy, 6000 MK1 does not link up to a lot of the softwares, does not link up with Serato, and it is only about 6 years old or 7 years old maximum. So there comes a point where some of the older hardware will not work with the newer software. One of the things that was interesting this year is when they switched to Virtual DJ 2021, it was a 64-bit program. 2020, they had a 32-bit and a 64-bit program. So the 32-bit would work on older Windows operating systems like Windows 7, Windows 8, Lord forbid someone had XP. It worked for all of those. But because those are all 32-bit operating systems, 2021 will not work with that. So just the simple change of the program being a 64-bit program does not work with those. Mac about 5 years ago required every program that goes to Mac has to be 64-bit. So they're covered. Anybody who has a Mac that's that old, you're fine with all the 64-bit. But Windows, like I said, for the new Virtual 2021, you have to have a 64-bit operating system on a 64-bit processor, GPU, and that limits you to either a 64-bit version of Windows 8 or Windows 10. So looking back that way, like Scott says, he bought his in 2012. So there's a good chance that piece of device will never hook up, simply because it was a different technology then. So I apologize about that. Anybody else? Chats. 10 minutes left. We can shut down early if you want. No big deal. Let you guys go do whatever. I'm going to tear this down because my setup has been up all day because I did DJ classes this morning and then the mix and then this. So I've been pretty much standing here, right here all day. So I kind of want to take a break. Carlos is saying, I'm looking for a really simple, basic controller to practice with. I'm telling you, with Denon, you can get the 4000. A lot of people love that 4000. It's smaller, simple. But there's also a boatload that Pioneer puts out that are very affordable, that are very good. Numark puts out a bunch that are small, very affordable, very simple. So I would look, if I were to tell someone, if they were open to any brand, look at Pioneer, look at Numark for their smaller, cheaper controllers. Some of their brand new ones, like the FX Platinum and the other FX one that Numark just came out with, are under $200. Like one's $250, the other one's under $200, and that's for a brand new one. Let alone get something that they have that's used. So there's a lot out there in those two, in that price range that I would go to. The party mix that Silvio said is extremely popular. I don't like it, but it's extremely popular and it does work. It works very, very good. You have the smaller little Dink controllers. Like I'm going to slide around here. I'll be back. This one is Hercules, and Numark has these. This cost About $75, and it works really well. It has both the touch, so you touch just the same like this, touch or nudge on the side at the same time without doing anything. These, if you want something simple, stuff like these, like Scott said, the 4000 is a little bit bigger, gives you more stuff to do. That's very affordable, and there's a lot of stuff out there like that. So I would tell you, look at Pioneer, look at Newmark. Those will be the two places I would tell you to go and look at. You can look at the Denon 4000. Like I said, it's out there, and it's probably going cheaper because they've just discontinued it from being made brand new. So there's going to be new ones out there, but they're not making any more right now. They're moving on to something else. So you should probably get a good price for them. But there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of small controllers for that. Like I said, that Pioneer, the Newmark Platinum FX, I like because it has the two paddle effects that like the S9 and the Rane 72 mixer has. And the two new Platinum ones from Newmark has those effects knobs. And like I said, the one's $250. The other one I think is about $200. So look at those. Look at Pioneer. Look at a price range, what you want, and just kind of look at what's out there. And you should probably will get something pretty cheap. And especially with DJs right now who are out of a job, you probably could get a used one in good shape really cheap because there's some people that are hungry to be selling some stuff right now. So if you're looking to buy used stuff, this is the time to kind of grab some stuff if you want some used stuff because people are trying to make every penny they can right now. Pioneer 200 is a great one. That's also good. Yep. There's quite a few out there. Like I said, Pioneer has several like that that are good. Like I said, Newmark's the other one that has a lot of small ones. Denon doesn't have very many small ones now that are affordable. What other companies? I know that Roland has a couple small ones, but they're a little pricey. Hercules has quite a few, and I mean quite a few that are cheaper and smaller that work great. Like I said, I have this. I love this. I use this for when I'm setting up music. So stuff like that's good also. So look into those. Again, we're up to top of the hour. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Everyone who watched both this and my chat earlier, I appreciate that. Again, thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up button and liking and commenting. Like I said, it's really think about how, like I said, all the different places people are watching tonight from all over the world. How we're all connected in this. We're all part of this now, and it's weird that we, when I was younger, if you didn't physically go see someone, you couldn't see them, and now we're doing this from all over the world. So I think it's kind of special. So at the end of this, as I'm closing up here, unless somebody wants to throw another question in, I also want to take this time, not only to thank you, but I want to encourage you in this time of craziness in the world. And over the next month, things might get crazier, and then after that month, things might get even crazier, or they might settle down. I don't know. I want you to be encouraged in yourself that you're important. Holiday season, a lot of people get down and depressed. You're important to someone, whether you think so or not, you are. So, don't go into this holiday season down. Don't go into the election season down. Keep your head up. Look out for each other. If you see someone that's hurting, reach out to them. Don't worry about embarrassing them. Don't worry about anything. Just be a friend to them. And that's what I want to leave you guys with tonight, as we are in this community of DJs that come here to Disc Jockey News. It's a family, and I so appreciate some of you guys, your support and different things, and I want you guys to just look at each other the same way and reach out to each other. Whether we're DJs that DJ in the same town or in the other side of the world, we're all have to be here for each other is the best we can. So with anything else, there's lots of stuff going on in the chat. Again, thank you guys. Next week, Monday and Tuesday, is the Virtual DJ Online Expo, the Virtual DJ Expo 2020 online, Monday and Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. There is no music and mixing Wednesday. I'll be in the chat talking with people, but the following Wednesday after that, Jay from Pioneer is going to be in, and we're going to be talking about what goes into when they make the hardware, what they decide to add, what they don't add, testing, all that kind of stuff. So you can get answers as to, hey, why didn't this controller have this? And he can maybe help you to know why stuff is put in and left out of different type of units and where it comes from his side on Pioneer. So that's in 2 weeks on the 21st, so join me there. So next time, take care of yourselves. God bless.